UBT's Action Line podcast is a production of UBT Media. You're on the United by Trucks Action Line podcast. I'm your host, Robbie Purser. In this podcast, we dive deep with those who share a love for classic trucks and like to have some good old-fashioned automotive fun, telling stories, truths, and maybe even a few exaggerated tales. Brought to you by TinWorks Fabrication. This special new series called Off the Rails is our place for shenanigans, where we chat with all the characters and personalities. We've shared classic truck road trips, builds, and plenty of times, good and bad.
It's pretty good.
Okay, everybody here? Everybody okay? Yeah, hit record on everything.
Record.
Record. So I don't really have like a huge agenda for this. I just thought that this would be fun to get around the table and talk about some C10s in the city stuff, talk about what we got going on. Never heard of it. Oh, man. Jason has got so much to tell you.
Ooh. Where do we start? Where do we begin?
Where do we begin? Right. But I thought that we would just kick this off, you know, around what we've been up to. I know we've all got some projects going or have some projects we need to be working on. But before we do that, let's do introductions. I'll just do this really quickly if y'all don't mind.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've had 4 people, and technically 5, because Sarah's got her own mic, her own camera, and she's got some questions she's going to ask us here in a little while about the show. Nice. And I think it's going to be, it's going to be cool. So yeah. Hopefully the audio sounds good. I'm sure we'll get some feedback from folks at home if it doesn't. But as if we're dealing poker, to the left, we got Jason Chandler from AMD. And then Sarah, who is co-producing this whole deal, is sitting over off camera here, even though she's got her own little GoPro. So I guess you're not off camera. Rick Cheeseman from SURBDY, C10s in the City. And then Sarah Boehm, C10s in the City, Hotter Hatch, Subaru Girl, all sorts of things. But mainly C10s in the City for at least the purposes of this conversation, because you are, I'm sure Rick will tell anyone that asks, you are C10s in the City, like from the...
We are C10s in the City.
Yeah. But,
and don't message me at Hotter Hatch, because I don't check it. Send it to C10s in the City.
But I really like tagging Hotter Hatch anytime I'm referring to you, because I want people to know, like, it's, Rick's got SURBDY, you've got like a Subaru thing, y'all both have C10s in the City together, and I know you help with SURBDY too. I don't mean to exclude you there, but like, Hotter Hatch is a thing too.
It is.
It's so cool.
Yeah, the Subaru's dope.
Yeah, it's so dope.
It is good.
And everybody I talk to is like, I didn't know Sarah had a Subaru. I'm into those things. And I see people doing all these rides at Tail of the Dragon. And that's freaking cool.
Fun.
That's so cool. Well, we got a gnat in here. Where'd that come from?
Rick, your little friend's over here flying.
Yeah. Is that
flying already?
Yeah.
Thought he came in with me.
Yeah.
Well, I've been looking forward to this conversation for a little while, just because I thought the show was such a great success, and I want to kind of help people understand a little bit more about what it takes to put it on, about why we like it so much, why it's so much fun, how things have changed over the years, just all those kind of topics that I think we all talk about like together and in our private conversations, but a lot of people don't really get to hear a lot of this. Yeah, and I think there's kind of a cool story that goes along with C10s in the City and how it's, all come about. But before we do that, I want to get into some project stuff. Jason, you have the most exciting thing going on from a project perspective.
Absolutely.
It's gotten way out of hand. So as you guys may remember, it's been a while. I've got a 66 C10. It's a cool backstory to it. I got it off a guy who was, right in Atlanta, North Druid Hills. He got it from a guy in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And the story was, I don't know how true it is. I don't have any receipts or anything like that. But it was a dirt track recovery truck. So on the racetrack, car spins out. They got to go push a car off the track. Yeah. That's what that truck's life was.
Very cool. Yeah. Hard life.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah. So you may have remembered, like, I had those giant, like, angle iron on the front bumper.
Yeah.
So maybe there's some water there. It might hold water. I don't know.
Yeah. But that kind of makes sense.
That bumper is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I love it.
Yeah.
You're keeping it, right?
I don't know yet. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work to get it cleaned up. The project's got way out of hand. So,
so it started out, it's a maroon color.
Right.
It was small back window.
Right.
It was lowered, and it had some Detroit Steel ambassadors on it.
Yeah.
What was the And it was step side. That's right.
I love that. I
And
love the
then-
step side.
Yeah,
I'm so sad.
I mean,
know.
step sides on old trucks, they fit. Hips
I liked
are cool.
it. I liked it, but to follow like the kind of the project, the way it was taking shape, where how's it doing garage, Mike? We
That's
put
right.
in the big back window conversion.
Yep.
It was for an AMD install, show customers, hey, you can do this. It's something you can do in your garage.
Yep.
And then we're like, oh, well, let's put in a steel floor conversion in a fleet side 66.
Yeah.
Super easy. Me and Mike did that over at his shop, and it's just grown from there.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep it step side. I really did.
But for folks at home who don't know, I mean, to us, you're more than just Jason Chandler at AMD or Auto Metal Direct. But like you lead all the marketing, you lead all the efforts when it comes to dealing with folks who are online, to how everything looks at shows, and really help with the development and making sure that the parts are correct, so that when you sell them to a customer, you don't have people beating down your door telling you you did something wrong.
Right.
So you have to you're looking at this through the lens of not just, hey, this is my personal truck, but also I'm trying to show people how you can use our parts, our sheet metal to make this truck better or awesome.
Right.
Even if you like the step side bed.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we kind of beat the drum that AMD is enthusiast driven. We all install the parts that we sell, and it's true.
Yeah.
And that's just another example of that.
Yeah. So the next iteration for the truck is what?
Oof. It's gotten way out of hand. So like the best part of the truck before to me was the Detroit steel wheels, the ambassadors. And then this all got crazy, and I partner with Anthony over at GSI. I just got the chassis back from powder coating, so I started assembling it before I came here.
Yeah.
That's going to be killer.
Oh, it's going to be
killer.
insane.
I can't wait for you guys.
We
to see
all
the
have
color.
chassis dreams.
Oh, dude,
yeah,
it's gonna
you're
be so
doing
good.
it.
Yeah. And then Rockford Custom Paint and Body.
Yep.
They're doing the whole. It's way out of hand.
It looks
I mean,
slick.
it looks good.
Is it gonna be the same burgundy type color, or is you just changing it all around?
It's in the neighborhood.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
I'll give you that.
yeah,
The
you
neighborhood.
guys, yeah. It's
seen
in the
it.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
But that Revolt auto paint,
Yeah.
dude, he laid it out beautiful.
Awesome.
It looks really good. We had the fender on display at C10s in the city.
Yeah. I must have
Working
missed
through
that
stuff.
somehow.
It was. I mean, there's a lot going
A
on.
painted fender?
Yeah.
Okay, dang,
yeah,
I did miss that.
The goal was to have the chassis back from powder coat. I'd put the suspension back on the chassis, put the cab on it, have it at the show. Well, powder coat or gel is a thing, so I'm working that out. But coming soon, we're going to have that as a rolling display, because I don't see a lot of guys that are putting together that kind of project that show it in those stages.
That's exactly what I love to see. I mean, just having, because you're covering up so much, especially when you go the chassis route, you are covering up so much art by when you put the body on. So like having a full chassis completed, wheels and tires, brakes, even if it's got the cab on it or if it doesn't, it's still cool to me because I want to see that kind of stuff.
Me too.
Did you go bags or coilovers on this?
I went bags. Yeah. I'm an old school mini trucker.
Yes.
I love that stuff, man.
Yes.
Yeah. So we got the bag setup on it, partnering with Airlift. They're going to put in a whole setup. It's gonna be slick.
And so it's gonna lay on the ground.
Oh yeah. It's going to be hammered.
Oh man, I love that.
That's my thing.
What
You
is
get a little preview of it. We did the stickers. We did some stickers for Seats in the City that have it on it.
I do remember that. Yeah. That's awesome.
Upgraded
I didn't tell
to
Jason
the
I was doing
22.
You just did it.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
You're breaking news here, man.
Yeah, it was good. It was
And on the shirt,
Yeah. The shirt is sick, by the way. I
shirt.
think people, I know we're jumping around here.
Yeah, that's sorry.
But people responded tremendously to the C10s in the City art at the show.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
they
was on the shirt, and the line was just incredible to get one.
Yeah, kind of blew me away.
Yeah, me too. I looked over and I was like, man, that's the line for the C10s in the City SQRBDY booth. That's insane. It was great.
That's cool.
We had to order more.
Yeah, which I'm glad you did. A lot of, I think maybe more shows are probably starting to do that because the shirts are getting so
It's
cool.
hard because like our shirt. I like to think our shirts are a little different. Mm-hmm. Some shows, they put dates all over them and stuff, and it's just not my thing.
Yep.
I never wanted to do that, so I feel like you can still
wear the shirt.
Yeah,
and it not be dated.
And then sometimes some people are like, if if you didn't go to the show, you won't buy it because it's got the date of the show.
Yeah.
And we don't do that.
Yep. And I'll say it. I know you're thinking it, but I'm going to say it for you. You don't put sponsors and all that stuff all over the shirt, especially the front of the shirt.
I won't do it.
Yeah.
It is one of my favorite things.
Thing for me.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think that's the best move because I want someone to wear the shirt all the time because of the art, the truck art, and the actual logo for the show or for the brand.
And it helps that our sponsors are okay with doing what we do.
Yeah, I mean,
AMD is the biggest one. And so like, if they're good, then I'm usually, we're okay. Like that's kind of what it is. I'm not knocking other shows for what they do. That's just what they do. I get it. Everybody, some sponsors are okay with just having right in the middle of 40 others.
Yeah.
It's not what I want to do.
Yeah, I love it. I love it the way you're doing it. I think it makes you want to wear the shirt more.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all of that, no date, great artwork, great logo, all that stuff just makes you want to wear the shirt more.
Yeah.
We see them at other shows all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
same.
Because it's more than just a show shirt. It's like
this
it's a truck shirt.
Yeah.
Like even this one had 17 colors in it.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's really putting time and dedication into creating quality art.
Yeah, I mean,
which we talk about him all the time. But Casey Harris,
man.
Harris Art
the
Co.
man.
does the art, and it's gonna be killer. It's gonna be right, and it's so I don't know. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we jump off of your project
Okay.
and jump too far into C10s in the city, but that's what this is about. We're gonna jump around.
Yeah,
we're
that's
gonna
fine.
just talk about what we want to talk about. What are you doing for Drivetrain? Are you telling people that yet?
Yeah, I've got quick performance rear end,
Yeah.
Ford 9-inch. We're going to do Phoenix transmission. It's going to be 4L60E.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to rebuild a 5.3 with Queen City.
Yes.
With Evan.
Yeah, Eric.
Yeah, so I partnered with Summit to do a complete overhaul. Then we're going to kind of upgrade it with the ARF heads.
Yeah.
ARP bolts.
Yeah.
We're gonna go, try and keep it a driver because
Yeah.
that is the plan, is to drive this to shows.
That's gonna be killer. That is gonna be killer.
Do you still have that goal of what you want to do? I don't know if we're going to make that.
I heard you're going to drive it to Dino's.
Well, that's the plan. I mean, that's the plan. I don't know how realistic that is.
Hey, they got me committing stuff on here all the time, but I'm not gonna be able to do
Yeah.
it. So you might as well commit
Join
to
us.
it.
Yeah, Ron committed to having a booth and he didn't show up.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. He showed up.
He didn't show up, but he did not have a booth.
Love you, Ron.
That's all right. I committed to having the OBS done by LS Fest this year, and I thought I was committing to 2026, and it turns out I was committing to 25.
Oh,
so I retract my commitment.
Because I was like,
I'm taking that back. And hey, if you're looking for quality USA-made GM truck suspension components, look no further than TinWorks Fabrication. Taylor and his team are based out of Iowa and employ some of the best craftsmen in the classic truck community. Whether you're looking for an inner stiffener for your performance truck, or you need LS swap motor mounts or tubular suspension components for your cruiser, TinWorks has you covered. Fast shipping, attention to detail, and the highest of quality. Head over to tinworksfabrication.com to place your order today.
I was on the fence about going to Dino's this year because,
It's a
I'm
time
like,
commitment.
well, I'm like, if Jason's driving that thing, then I'm going.
I know, man. I wish I could. I cannot.
Whether
I
I'm
wish
riding
I
or
could.
driving with him.
That will be an awesome trip if you make that.
That's-
You'll have a killer. You'll have a killer setup for that.
good.
You'll have a killer setup for that, like full bag chassis,
Oh, yeah.
LS, built for L60.
It's going to be like a stock rebuild. I'm not doing anything crazy. Where it's going to be, high compression or low compression with boost or anything like that. It's going to be real streetable. So that's the goal.
Yeah.
But you're going to be like Dave Fricke and get it repainted, like touched up after every.
Yeah. Well, I've talked to Rockford
up,
about
Dave.
that.
Yeah.
Dave. I've talked to Rockford about that, and I'm expecting the chips. I'm expecting the road rash.
Yeah.
If it happens, it happens. The Revolt's got some solutions for that, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
The PPF stuff.
Oh,
yeah. You can PPF the front, PPF the hood. Yeah, me PPF the whole thing.
Like
but
Wade did his whole car.
Yeah.
By the way, he did his whole car and that stuff.
really.
And you couldn't tell.
No,
No,
you couldn't
it
tell.
was beautiful.
I was watching the new Cletus video last night, and they just got the body back for that drag car, Leroy.
Yeah,
and they PPF the whole thing. One single sheet, 22 foot long down the side. No seams. I mean, just except for where they cut it. Well, actually, there's no seams. There's no door because you lift it up and get in it. But I didn't know people were actually doing like whole cars.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. That's got to be so expensive.
So like you got
Yeah, right.
You got to do it right though. Like I've seen some where they do it like they do just the front end, and then you can see they didn't do like the whole fender.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I guess
like
that's the scene, right?
See, like there's a few trucks, some high end trucks I saw like that. I'm like, man, that kind of takes away from it a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
There was one in y'all's booth at C10 Nationals last year, and you could see that seam. I'm like, man, this is like a $400,000 truck.
Go all the way or don't.
Leave it to Rick to trash a
I know.
$400,000 truck.
I'm not trashing it. I'm just saying you can see it.
The one thing I love about Rick is that he's steady as a rock when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like, you'll appreciate all the things that you appreciate, and then you'll be like, I would have done that differently, or I would have changed that, or why didn't you do that? I mean, a lot of people aren't that way. A lot of people don't say things, that they, and you're not like mean about it. You're just very direct. We did a What's in My Driveway yesterday, and you get a shout out on it because the truck had torque thrusts on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like the wheels. And he's like, well, don't tell Rick. Yeah. And I was like, well, we don't care what Rick thinks today. I like your truck. It's like, that's fine. Like,
where Rick stands.
And the cool thing.
He says they're a little different.
Yeah, totally. But the cool thing about it is your truck got a name for itself, and your brand got a name for itself while it had torque thrust on it. So you got to give a little nod to it. I think it went into overdrive. It went into overdrive when you got the billets on it. Nobody will deny that. But people still loved your truck when it had torque thrusts on it, and it had the little knockoffs on it, and it looked killer.
I'm trying to dig those up for the burb.
And you got something with torque thrusts on it.
Yeah. It's another one I bought. Another one I bought that had them on it when I got it.
Yeah, totally. Well, speaking of the burb, I know you've been hot and heavy on like trying to figure out a plan to get this thing where you can really use it. What's going on?
We really want to get it to, obviously we said it before, to haul the merch and everything, but it needs some things to do that. Like we finally sourced, Alex Walker helped me find a core for 7R4. We're going to throw that thing in there for now.
Yeah.
We got with Holly.
Yes.
And we're going to do a Sniper 2 on there.
Yes.
It needs some exhaust work. And then I think we'll be ready to go. We're going to get with AMD on a bunch of things probably
for the interior.
Because it needs some stuff in the interior. And they got all that new sound deadener. I'm like, because it's like a tin can in there right now.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, I'd probably put a headliner back in it.
Yeah.
Even though it's a mile long.
Yeah, I got
a headliner.
I got to find one of those too.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. With that, and we'll get it there.
You did air shocks recently on it. I think we talked about.
Yep. So it's got air shocks on it for now. I'd like to do the TinWorks thing at some point.
Yep.
I think that's the way to go for what we want to do.
Yeah. And you got helper bags on the red and white truck, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, I thought you did.
Because that freaking camper top, man.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it.
Everybody loves it. That's what I was going to say. Another thing that people always mention to me is that dang camper top.
Yeah.
It
you
is
want to
awesome.
talk about opinions.
Yeah, you're not even sure you like your own camper top.
No,
He does not.
It looks great.
It sure does look awesome, though.
It serves its purpose. I mean, if I'm going to run one, like I said before, I'm going to run one like that.
Yeah.
It's heavy, though, man.
It's got the vintage vibe. I mean, it is vintage. It's just a vintage camper top. It looks, and it's in good condition.
Got all the wood frame and everything. It's heavy.
Got the hardwood on the inside, or the faux hardwood on the inside.
It's still got the fishing pole in it when I got it.
Yeah.
Like, it's still sitting in there. Like, it's got a little rack for the fishing pole.
I love that, man. That's so cool.
There's a string line in there.
Yeah.
Like, I just left it in there.
So you're going to try to get at least where you may not have all this done, but you're going to try to get the trans and everything done so you can drive it to what show?
SCTN.
Yeah. So Southeastern Truck Nationals.
Because I'd really like to only take one truck to SCTN so we can ride together and I think with this we can fit everything in there.
Yeah.
We're working on a new tent. Working on we got a couple of new designs coming out too, so we'll be ready.
We're all growing up, Rick.
Yeah.
We're all getting bigger tents.
I know.
I'll tell you, we got, I guess for folks at home that don't know, we went from a 10x10 to a 10x15 for y'all's show.
Yeah.
And man, it makes a lot of difference.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a lot of difference. Like, it just gives you more room naturally.
Yeah, I didn't know about 10x15s until you guys got it, Jason. You guys got a couple of them.
With not having that center pole on a 10x20, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes a difference.
Yeah. I feel like we had plenty of room. You can actually have somebody who just wants to chill and sit in the booth, even if you got tables front and back. But having that length, especially the way y'all do y'all's bins, we're doing a bin thing now that Sarah's come up with, that it just works. You can put it all in the back of the table, spread it out the whole length of the booth. Yeah. And you can, your wall set up, you can have all the back wall. I mean, you can have that with 10x10 too. Yeah. But it just looks better, elongated,
We've you know, like you said, we've grown, so we have more stuff to display. You know, so
which means you got a lot more stuff to travel with.
it's exactly right. Hence the verb.
Yeah. That's so cool.
And honestly, we used to be able to fit it all in the red and white truck. You know, like even under the cover. Like, and it's not even close now.
Yeah, we were in. Go ahead.
But speaking of SCTN, though, like our tent, that's where our tent got kind of
destroyed.
messed up. It got destroyed by someone else's tent that flew over y'all's trailer.
Oh yeah,
and
that was
crushed
crazy.
our tent.
That was crazy.
I like to think it was like a Matrix moment where our trailers like sliding
just
back.
sliding around out of the way.
Y'all's like,
sorry, Rick.
And slosh tubs too.
I was about to say, like,
they had everything out there and nothing, like nothing happened.
Well, you remember at Fall Revival, was that last year?
Yeah.
Not this past one,
last year.
The year before last. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, where ours got messed up, but y'all's was right next door. It did not get messed up, I don't think.
It did not.
Ours broke. Mike was out there getting his and caught ours from Slosh Tubs, Mike Losh, and it was...
Yours got, Jason.
Yeah, y'all's got really... and it banged into the Dodge, I think. Y'all had just got it, I think.
Right.
Yeah. Man, what... And I think that's another thing. We could probably just sit here and talk about shows and stories from shows this entire podcast, but there are so many things that go into getting merch there, to getting your product there, to getting set up, to dealing with weather, because most of these shows are outdoors that we do. Like, it is wild, like all the things you just might run into or we have run into.
Oh yeah. I think we've run into it all.
Yeah, I mean we're working on it for sure.
Maybe an earthquake we haven't experienced.
Yeah, God,
yet.
let's not have
Simmer
one.
down. Simmer down.
Yeah, because I think about the tornado at Battle in Bama. I'm trying to remember if we even had a tent or were we set up.
No, we were
or
just
anything?
hanging out.
I think we were just hanging out.
Papa Rick.
Yeah. When we talked about this last, Rick was like, "Sarah's got a story about this." But yeah, I went and hid in y'all's room. I hate storms. God, I hate them. I made my whole family sleep in the den the other night because those big storms are coming through.
Yeah,
we got some big trees around our house.
Just have to accept it.
We did too.
What is it, Sarah?
So I just have to accept that
You
about
do.
you.
You do. I worry about it.
I snuck back into the bed.
Yeah, I do worry about it. I don't like them trees. I don't like them things being able to fall on my house.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, show stuff can get, and especially a lot of the stuff we do in the summer months. We're in the South, so it's just like thunderstorm city all the time. It seems so. It seems like every show we go to, there's a thunderstorm.
Right.
Well, and we were talking about the heat too.
Yeah.
At SCTN, a little girl passed out right next to our booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hot.
Oh, I must
We
not
had
have been
to
there for
bring her
that.
in. Yeah, and we had to bring in the booth and get her some water and some fan and.
Really?
Yeah, that was.
I must not have been there for that
A
one.
couple years ago, you were there. You were
it was
down.
at least 2.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were down a couple from us, I
booths or
think.
something?
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I mean, I've almost passed out there. It's
July.
hot.
Yeah, it's always a hot show.
It is hot. Yeah.
Well, our
Love
show
it.
last year, Rick was barfing. It was too hot.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hence it got moved to May 3rd.
Yeah. She kind of triggered it though.
It was my fault. I spilled water. Trash for
We were trying to clean up the trash.
Garbage
So not
water.
only was he having a heat stroke,
Garbage
you made
water
him
is
have
what
like a
I-
gag.
Yeah,
gag
as soon
situation.
as she
trying
did that, I
to
was
swing
like,
it into
nope.
the dumpster. And
There we go.
Putting on a show's tough.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of work.
We cleaned up the trash too.
Yeah.
no, not this year. I hired someone to
Yeah,
help this
right.
year. I had enough.
But I mean, especially putting on a show. Yeah. Well, do you have anything you want to talk about on a project before we jump forward? Like, what's the deal with the C10s in the city truck? Because we're itching. I'm just itching to get into C10s in the city since we keep.
Yeah, well,
But
so
It's pretty good.
yeah, it's good. It's fun to drive around. It has like some problems here and there.
yeah, remind everybody what it is because it's not a truck that everybody knows.
No, it's an 86 C10.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's kind of like Rick's red and white one, but it's got this
Brown and tan.
brown and tan.
Copper Canyon.
Yeah, Copper Canyon, I think it is. Primary color. I can't remember what the secondary is.
It's that it's the same tan in a lot of them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
We'll call it buckskin.
There
it's
you go.
that kind of color.
It might
Leave
be
the
that.
color in the comments.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody will. But and it's lowered. It's got a McGoy's lowering kit. It's like a 4.6 or something on it.
5.7.
5.7. And then wheels and tires.
Yeah, it's got the Continental tires and then Detroit steel wheels.
Yeah, Del Rey's.
It's got the Del Rey's, but we changed the cap on them. But we got them powder coated that super chrome.
When the one in the back is like, the length of this table wide.
It's pretty.
I mean,
Freaking
It's still 11-inch wide wheels, so it fits
But
there,
it
but
is.
it's
It
got
looks
all the
good.
offset.
you can lay your head down in
Yeah.
the barrel of that thing.
Yeah, so Mike Howe cut down the rear end for that.
Yeah.
He did a lot of work on that truck.
You did.
Yeah.
So the next move on it is what?
I'd like to put an LS in it
Yep.
because I just want to make it more reliable.
Yep,
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's still got stock drivetrain. So you got basically everything taken care of. Interior is all
The
dialed.
interior's nice.
It is really nice. Yeah. In fact, I think it was the first truck I saw that had a bunch of AMD interior.
People didn't know, that was one thing I was super proud of, because like a lot of people didn't know you guys even had that stuff.
I didn't.
Yeah. So like you gave up. We worked together, got a bunch of that stuff in there, and we dyed it all and everything, and it looks good.
And it looks nice.
It's either dyed or we wrapped it in leather.
Yeah.
So
it looks,
turned out great.
It looks really, really good.
Cato did the seat in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Relicate. I think it's Relicate leather in that. On that one?
No, it's
more and
more and
Giles.
Giles. Sorry, more and Giles. Yeah. So LS is next for it.
It has to be.
And then
it kind of got bumped a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because of what we're doing now, but we'll see. We got to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a.
But the goal is to LS that one and the Burb at some point. But I think with the Burb having the fuel injection will be good for a while.
I think so. It seems to be a pretty strong running motor.
I do have a motor sitting somewhere that we have to go get at some point that could be the one.
Nice.
For her truck.
Yeah.
No, I get a leftover one. I get his 5.3.
I told her you get the proven one. It's been,
This got 90,000 proven miles on it.
Right.
Let's make it a little noise right
And it's
now.
probably not even really that hurt.
Well, a little racket.
I don't think it's really that hurt.
No.
But I think it was the right call, speaking of that truck, to probably just do what we did, do what you did.
Oh, no, for
and
sure.
Send it, tuck it away until we could go back and get it.
Yeah.
Because it could have caused some problems, or we could have made things worse.
Oh, yeah.
On that trip to LST.
Yeah.
So, well, let's jump into C10s in the city. This is,
Okay.
I think before we do this, Sarah, if you don't mind, let's pull up those questions, because I think this would just kind of get us going where we don't have to, just off the cuff this. And I'm also interested in some of this group's, thoughts on this. These are like super light questions. They're nothing crazy.
I thought he was going to ask me about my project.
Honey, will you talk about the Z71 Tahoe?
yes,
You got an OBS Z71 Tahoe.
And what it needs next is better air conditioning.
There you go.
Correct.
Robbie doesn't do air conditioning.
All OBSs need better air conditioning, even when they're charged and fine. It's so bad. So bad.
That was really a joke. I don't have a project.
That's your project. I mean, that's a good.
Great.
We're gonna LS it someday.
Yeah.
Right now, it's got 260,000 miles and still manages
Drives
to run
like
like
a
a charm.
dream. Yeah.
Nice.
Don't fix it if it ain't broke.
I mean, for real. Okay, hit us with the first one.
Okay.
Let's go.
Are you surprised by the growth of the show from the beginning until now?
Who wants to take that one? I'm surprised by it. I'll say that.
I'm gonna let Sarah answer.
I think we already knew we knew we had something special. So I mean,
Why do you think you had something special?
because
I know why, but I want
because
everybody
it's all
else to
about
hear
the
it.
community. It's about relaxing. We have no trophies. It's just all chill, people hanging out and having a great time.
Yeah, and you were tapping into a population of the community that was not going to normal shows, not going to a lot of the shows that we go.
Right.
Like there were so many trucks that we see around Atlanta that are not going to any of those other shows that we go to. Now, half of this show is trucks we've never seen before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is such a great and
It's my
amazing
favorite thing.
Yeah.
Yes. And like now we're all part of the same community. Like there's no separation, and these folks feel, I think, like they've got a home, to come show their truck off among all these other amazing trucks from out of state.
It's cool. I mean, we do those little pop-ups, and
People love those pop-ups.
Yeah.
I do too.
All the trucks that are around the city, they all come to that stuff, man. We've had almost 70 trucks at the last pop-up.
Yeah.
Like,
just hanging out on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
And that's
65 or something like, I don't know.
either way. I mean, more than 10 is crazy to come to a
About-
local.
About the same amount as
first show.
2021.
Yeah.
When we
It's
had
like
our
the same,
first one.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit. The very first one, and the early ones started to run together. They start to run together for me. So the first one was in East Atlanta Village was that at Argosy?
Yes.
It was
That
at
was
Argosy.
the only one in East Atlanta Village.
Okay, that was the only one at East Atlanta, and we were in actually a couple different little parking lot type areas right next to Argosy.
Yeah.
How many trucks you think were there?
I think 70.
It was like 70. Yeah.
Yeah, very first one, and that would have been in 2021.
21.
Okay, and then was there another one in 21, or was it in 22 was the next one?
No, I was a liar instantly because I said I wanted to do
them.
quarterly.
Which is just impossible.
And so that was in.
That's 70 trucks.
We were all on board, though.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do it, we were going to show up, but it was going to be rough.
Yeah. So we didn't have the next one until April of 22. And then we thought we could do 2, which we did.
Yeah.
But that was stupid also.
I mean, honestly, it changed when we started needing help.
Yeah.
As far as financial help kind of thing, to keep it free.
Yeah.
Well, and that's another part of this that I want to touch on. Let's wait before we touch on that one. So in 2022, they were where?
Summerhill, Atlanta.
So so same area that they're in now, but in the parking lot across the street.
Basically, the lower lot.
The lower lot, the one
lower
that's
lot.
on the other side of Publix now.
Yeah, that's the one that we outgrew while we were having the show.
Yes.
It was chaotic.
Yeah, it was that was kind of full.
Yeah, no room for anybody else to come into that lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it jumped from 70 trucks to over 200.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were not expecting that.
Yeah. They say those things happen pretty quickly, though. I mean, I think that's kind of the recipe for a show. If you've got something unique and something that people want to come to, is you might have 50. Well, I mean, Fall Revival's the example I think of.
Oh, yeah.
You got 50 that first year we went, and then the next year it was like 250, and then it was like 750, and then it was 1,000, 2,000, and so you just get these really big incremental jumps when you got something unique, not just a normal old cruise-in type.
I mean, we model some things after them because I love what they do.
Yep.
Those guys are great guys.
I mean, I look up to them. I think that what they do is amazing. So that's how
they've done it right.
Yep.
For sure. Yeah. And doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk a little bit. So actually 2022, but in that lot, the smaller lot right next to the main drag on Summerhill.
Right.
And then 23 went into the upper lot. What do you call that, Sarah?
It's the C lot.
We call it the
C
C
lot.
lot.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I'm looking for something like that. The C lot.
It was the old orange lot from the Braves.
Yeah.
So the first one in Summerhill was in the gold lot. This one was called the orange lot, and now we're in the blue lot. That's basically what they were called when the Braves were there.
Yeah, so for folks listening at home, Turner
if you know
Field,
that.
if you know those lots, the old Fulton County Stadium wall is kind of the perimeter of the newer lot the larger lot that you guys are in, that we're all in now. So it's cool Atlanta history.
Oh, yeah, we always thought it would be
setting.
cool to do it in the old Fulton County, but it's different
Can't
ownership.
get a hold of them.
Yeah.
It's different ownership. Not responsive.
Yeah, and we've seen them use it. We've seen when we were there doing a site visit, they were using it to teach people how to drive a bus or something that day. I'm like, I wonder. I guess the state may still own it. It may be like a state-owned, thing.
It's the Georgia State owns it.
So if anybody who's listening can help us with that, not that we necessarily want to do that, but it'd just be nice to know if they'd ever be game to help us in some way.
They're getting ready now to turn that into another stadium, a baseball stadium.
Oh.
So there's some people in Summerhill that aren't thrilled about that. Some of the residents there.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes because now they'll have the old Turner Field for the football.
Yep.
They have a new arena down there.
Yeah.
If you just catty corner from the show there or across the street from the show.
Yeah.
And then now they're going to put a baseball stadium where the old Fulton County Stadium was.
Oh.
That's what blowing up.
Boy, it is going to be. Yeah. That's going to be a lot going on down there.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. The one thing that I like about the show, regardless, that I like about it being in Summerhill, is the food.
Oh yeah.
The access to food. And Millie and I actually walked it this year. Didn't take the shuttle on the way down. We took the shuttle back. But that's a really cool thing that you guys implement. And I think that is one thing that you've probably taken from larger shows, try to make it as easy as possible for everyone to do the things they need to do. And so y'all have a shuttle that will take you from the show down 2 blocks
also
away.
very walkable.
It is very walkable.
It's a 5-minute walk.
We walked it, no problem. Perfect sidewalk, one crosswalk. You're to amazing food, amazing food. In fact, will you ask Millie to come in here because I want her to just say her one little thing that she loves about it. But I think that's another cool component of this show is that you guys are really trying to think of everything and trying to make it just come have fun. Mm-hmm. You don't have to worry about anything.
Right.
There's great vendors here.
Parking's free.
Which is hard to find in Atlanta.
Yes.
And we love Atlanta. I mean, we love the food in Atlanta.
Yeah. Me too.
We've never had a food truck at our show ever.
No. Yeah.
We are go support the community. You're not going to regret it because the
you
food
are
is
definitely
outstanding.
not going to regret it.
Yeah.
In fact, Millie, can you speak into that microphone and tell everybody what your favorite part about C10s in the city is?
Nug life.
I think my favorite part of C10s in the city is probably all the trucks that come and that we get to walk around, and I think that's really fun. And all the food.
And what is your favorite restaurant? Do you remember what it's called? Wood Chapel Barbecue.
Wood Chapel Barbecue.
Yeah.
Nice.
And didn't we get we got banana pudding this time, didn't we? Yes. It was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the
It's
food.
cool, man. There's an ice cream shop there. There's a pastry shop. There's everything. I mean, you got the barbecue. There's
He's on dessert.
Yeah, no, I've got it right on dessert. That ice cream shop is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
We've
it
had
really
that
is
as well.
cool. Yeah.
But there's a brewery there, Halfway Crooks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you want a cold one.
Those chicken sandwiches at the
How crispy. That's
Yes.
the Nug Life that you were trying
Yes,
to get at.
yeah, I was trying to think of the name when you said that. I was like, Nug Life.
Like I got one of those shirts.
Yeah.
I got one of those shirts home. I'm like, man, this thing don't fit.
You don't have to worry about that with the C10s in the City shirt.
That's right.
They're gonna fit right.
That's right.
Love it.
Well, let's pivot a little to the what I think is probably one of the greatest things about the show. Actually, you have the question. So, will you ask the question about the mission piece? I'm over here jumping ahead.
Some of you may not know there's a strong mission focus for this show by raising money for the Pink Fund. Can you talk a little about why that's important to you?
I would be
Sarah.
surprised if people didn't know that we're raising money for the Pink Fund.
Yeah.
Like, we really
well,
put
some
that out
may
there.
not.
Some people don't like.
Yeah, and I mean, it is the driving force behind why we do this.
Right.
Why is that?
Well, everybody's trying to get me to say that I had breast cancer. And
Well, you don't have to necessarily say that. But just
No, it's
why
fine.
is that important?
It's
My
fine.
sister had breast cancer and passed away from it
I know.
at 43 years old.
Yeah.
So
terrible
it's
to-
important to me
terrible
too.
thing to go through. But yeah, and a struggle that a lot of people don't think about is the expense.
Yeah.
Like, okay, there's resources to help women or people with breast cancer pay for their medical bills.
Right.
But then you still have all of these other expenses, your mortgage, your groceries, getting
Right.
gas, like, and the Pink Fund fills that gap. And
Yeah.
it's an important gap.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's why we support them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because even I mean, you have insurance, but
It doesn't cover
Hopefully.
everything.
no, man,
Not at all.
No, my cancer cost $13,000 with insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a make it or
It's
break it
just
amount
ridiculous.
for a lot of folks.
Yeah.
For sure. How are you guys going about raising the money? I mean, I know, but how are you doing that? Like how are people contributing to the Pink Fund when they come to C10s in the City?
Well, we will have some very pretty ladies accost you at the gate and ask you for money.
Which is a great way to do it.
And then we have there's no excuse why you can't donate. We
Totally.
have PayPal, we have Cash App, we have Venmo, we have Zelle. You can
Yep.
give us some cash.
It was on the cart. I put money, a
Yep.
wad of cash, just
Yeah.
in the shuttle back.
Yeah.
Like there was just a little tub there.
Yep.
Stuff
yeah,
some
the
money down in
the
there.
two shuttle drivers were having a competition on that, which is great.
Yeah, that's so good. But you can.
One failed miserably.
Yeah. Was it Juan?
It was Juan.
He's just out there chatting with everybody. And they don't even know what they can do that on the show. Shout out Juan. But are there other ways that folks are donating?
Yeah, so we
to?
do also with the registration. So we do have a registration. You don't have to register. We like people to register because of being a free show. It's hard to know the number of trucks you're going to get, and it helps us with how many porta potties or whatever, like that kind of stuff.
The logistical stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes you have an opportunity to give in increments of 5. So sometimes we have people give us $100 just registering. But the most exciting one, I think the one that you're trying to get at, is the raffle.
That's it. That's what I was trying to get everybody to get to.
Yeah.
So you can donate normally, but you can also come
You
and
could win stuff.
win really awesome
Yeah,
stuff.
AMD's always got really cool stuff in there.
They drive
we-
the raffle.
Yeah, we
Support.
it is important.
Yeah.
I think we need to, I want to do better with the raffle. I want to get more things. I think we need to push it a little earlier
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
things like we had some folks that just that said they were going to give stuff for the raffle and then like forgot or whatever
Yeah.
and then just donated some money, which is great.
Yep.
But we like to have the items there for people to like. There's some cool stuff in there.
What did do you remember what AMD had this year in there?
Oh, I know we did a trim kit.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
did
The
several
the
boxes of
73 to
sound
80.
deadener.
It was like
Yeah.
six.
Yeah.
It was like six boxes. That's
Yeah.
sound deadener stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, we did a whole we did a custom AMD cornhole board set.
Yeah.
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 That's cool.
I mean, there was
Sarah
some-
almost ran those over with her truck. By the way.
Oh man.
I actually did.
And they were so good and strong
Yeah,
that it
they
didn't hurt
They
them.
survived.
They were sturdy.
And
yeah.
they still got raffled off. That's awesome. What are
But
some of
even
the other
like
things? that
even
were
like
in
Family Garage, they donated that big wood kit, the wood
Yeah.
bedwood kit,
there? Yeah.
and which is a really expensive
Yes.
item, and
Really
a
nice.
really nice
Slash
kit.
tubs too.
Yeah, the Loshes always donate something. They did
Pick your year.
Yeah, pick your year, tubs, whatever you want.
I know. I love that they do that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And the other cool thing about it is you get to sit under this really nice tent.
Right.
You got tables, chairs. You got an MC who is managing all this while Rick and Sarah run around up there and talk and chat and
Raymond.
hand stuff. Yeah, was it Raymond?
Raymond.
There we go. Raymond.
He's a great DJ.
He's a baller.
I feel like he's part of what makes the show unique too.
Yeah, he's a
'Cause
baller.
He's also a truck guy, which helps.
Yeah, that is so cool. But you have this is done now in a way where it goes right back to just trying to make people feel comfortable. You got a place to sit, get in the shade a little bit, have some water, watch all this stuff unfold, and be a part of something greater than yourself.
And by the way, Shannon McDonald at Storage Pro is the person that provides the funds for that.
Yeah, we're calling it the Storage Pro Backyard.
That's right.
Yeah. It's so
Which
cool.
is cool.
Yeah, I think it's so cool.
Yeah, some of the other stuff that was like really cool was like the handcrafted stuff that people just bring.
Yeah.
And like, hey, we want to put this in a raffle. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and we got Lewis that does the tailgate bench, which is always a hit.
Cultured
Yes.
Society.
Yep. Lewis is a rad dude.
Yeah.
So he's taking a classic truck tailgate
Yeah.
and making one of those really nice benches you can sit on.
Yeah.
I mean, those things are high dollar. Like, you see them on Marketplace, not very often, but you see them on Marketplace, and they command some real money.
$1,000.
Yeah, they command some real money.
Dude, one of my other favorite ones was the one you guys did last year with you got a whole dash kit.
Oh yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah.
Came with gauges,
Yes.
bezels, dash pad.
You never know what
everything's
AMD's going to step up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was rad.
Yeah, that is cool.
I think our raffle was bigger last year.
Yeah, probably a little bit.
It's probably partially
Why do you think that is?
probably a marketing issue on my part. I don't know. Rick's supposed
we'll
to be
have
the
a-
face.
When he
I'm the
did
brains. He's
mention-
not doing all the wheeling and dealing. Come on.
Yeah. I think I need to start trying. Like people always say they want to donate to it, and I need to
Chase them.
chase them a little.
When you asked me
sooner.
for help, and I decided I was going to give away a truck, and then it sucked the air out of everything.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll plan that a little better next year. And
Yeah,
but I
we
would
could
like
just-
to be
we could
more
just
helpful.
take it home from here. I guess we're already here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, take mud home?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got that thing tucked away. It's not even on premise.
I know. I didn't see it back there.
But yeah, it is. I just think it's so. You do know where I live. It's very close to here. But I do. I just wanted to express this has become a show that is so well thought out. Like you guys are thinking about this year round. This is not just, hey, we got a show in a month. Let's throw this thing together.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very well thought out. And I know AMD's doing a ton on the planning side. I mean, financially, let's just say it,
Hey.
there's that part of it.
They help us keep the show free.
Yeah, I mean,
without
is-
AMD, it doesn't happen.
And for
probably.
those who don't know, a lot of these larger shows that you're going to for free, that's how it happens. You have
You
a
have to have
sponsor
it.
or have sponsors or charge vendors or all of those things to
People
do
don't-
this.
Yeah,
And-
people don't understand how much porta potties cost to rent.
Yeah,
Right,
or golf
right.
cart shuttles to
Yeah.
get back and
Right.
forth. Or
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff costs money. People don't do that or can't always do that for free.
Yeah, there's insurance and everything else.
yeah.
Just like everybody else has
Permits from the city.
Yeah.
Which, if you want to try to do something in the city, it is not fun to get permits from Atlanta.
right.
Yes,
You
right.
have to drive to City Hall and hand them a paper money order
Oh my god!
because they're that far behind.
Old school.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to do. And we have to go through several neighborhood boards.
yeah,
Yes.
that's
Make
how
a
we know that
presentation.
that's
Yeah.
how we know the folks in Summerhill were not happy about. Somebody was threatening to take the Olympic cauldron and take it to Centennial Olympic Park.
Yeah.
They're like,
yeah.
oh no, they're trying to take our history away from
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
come
There was
on.
somebody, a big money guy was behind it, and
Yep.
they got it pushed off for now. It sounds like, but I don't know how long they can hold them off.
Yeah, that
Which
would be
be-
that would be sad though.
It would be
Yeah.
because that's the one thing that, for me, the pictures with the
Yes.
rings in the background
Oh, yeah.
is so
Yep.
tight.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
Olympic torch is there, and then the rings are
Yeah.
on the catwalk type thing across the street. It is, yeah. I can't overstate this has become something that it is so top tier. I mean, it's just a very quality
Thank you.
show. Even I want to say this real quick. Even the special guests that came along this year.
Yeah.
And I know AMD had a lot to do with this on the vice grip side and Kevin Tate's. So Derek, is it Barry or Bieri?
Bieri.
Bieri.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Derek Bieri, Kevin Tate's, Finnegan showed up, which
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Last minute, he's like, "Hey, I want to come." I'm like,
Yeah.
rad.
Yes,
I
please.
mean, Finnegan is the man.
I'm so
appreciate.
disappointed I didn't get to meet him.
I chatted with him for a second, and he was he was just so happy.
Yeah.
Like he felt you could tell he was like, I'm glad I came to this. Yeah. This was awesome.
Yeah.
He was the only one I wasn't mad about doing a burnout.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
he brought that
I didn't
OBS.
have to chase him down.
That's so clean, too.
He brought that OBS that is just so cool.
That's that super, sport truck thing.
Yes.
I mean, it's
hot as
the
fire.
pinnacle of that. Like,
Yeah. But it was, I just felt like this year especially, I mean, you could feel it last year, but this year it felt like more an experience. Like there was more than just a truck show, like there was more to it. And we had a blast. I had a blast. I'd just look up and there'd just be people everywhere. Yeah. And there was honestly threat of terrible weather that never really materialized. I mean, there was some drizzle there, but man, we had a good time and a bunch of dang people showed up.
Oh yeah, it was a lot
thousands.
Of people.
I mean, it was awesome.
The spectators this year were off the charts compared to what we've had in the past.
Yeah.
We've always had a bunch, but
and that has everything to do with our special guests.
Right. Yeah, for
AMD
sure.
coordinating all those things.
Yeah, for sure. Sarah, what other questions you got on there? Millie, you chilling over there, girl.
She is relaxing.
Having a Topo Chico.
Oh, yeah. Got a little bendy straw. She's feeling real good.
Okay, y'all have really touched on a lot of them, but another one is, what's the most unexpected thing during the planning process that you didn't anticipate?
Yeah. So, Rick and Sarah, like, as you're thinking about this year round, what is that thing that, and even maybe it was a couple of years ago as this began to grow, but what's the thing that really jumped out to you is like, oh, I didn't see that coming, or I didn't anticipate that. It might be permitting, it might be some of that type of stuff, but I think that this just kind of gets to the core of what it takes to throw an event like this.
Some of the stuff with the city can be inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like how many police officers they want you to have, and
so
there are some of that stuff kind of bothers me a little bit.
The cops are expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't even realize that.
So
there's security at this event.
Right.
We have to have
it to get the permit, which is fine. We do all that, but like, I want them to help if we need help.
Yeah.
Right.
And we had an incident a couple years ago.
23.
Yeah, where a guy on a motorcycle just I kind of saw him. That's when we were in that fenced area.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I kind of saw him lingering around. I'm like, man, he's gonna come in here, and it's fine. But so he came in. It's one of those. It's like a dirt bike, but it's got the slicks on it. Whatever you call those.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure.
Anyways, it didn't matter. He came in there, and then he went down one of the rows, down one of the vendor rows, and was doing donuts in there.
Jerk.
I didn't even know that.
With kids and
there's kids everywhere.
Yeah, we're not down with that.
No, man. So I ran after him.
Yeah.
Hothead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's one time I think it's probably warranted.
Yeah.
Like,
so I caught up to him. I said, "Look, man, we can't have that in here. You just got to go." He's like, "Oh, I know you were lame like that." And I'm like,
"Now you know."
Now you know I'm lame because I'm trying to keep everybody safe in here.
Look, it's my insurance.
Yeah.
Like kind of thing. So.
Yeah.
So then
but you grabbed him.
Well, I'm getting to that.
And the truth really comes out.
So then I'm waiting at the gate because we kind of had a gate on that show there.
Yep.
And so I'm just waiting for him to leave, and he stops about 5 feet in front of, like, past me, and he just does a burnout, and I just ran after him.
Oh man!
So I had to hold his shirt for a second.
I can't believe he did that though.
And it pulled his hand off the throttle. He just stalled the bike, and then he got it going again and took off.
I bet he did.
And
I bet he did, and rightfully so.
But the whole time that was going on, like, one of the police officers was sitting right there in the car on the phone. I'm like,
oh man, this is the time we need you.
Yeah, someone was yelling for her.
It was me.
Yeah, and what's going on?
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah, that would definitely be unanticipated and unexpected part of.
Right. So that was
especially when you're mandated to have it.
I mean, that's the only time anything's ever happened. We've never had an issue with anything.
Yeah.
No crowd issue. No burnout issues. I mean, we just everybody's been very respectful and appreciate that. It was just one incident, and he wasn't
even a part of the truck community.
Right.
Like he just rolled in there.
Right.
I think that's another thing is like we continue to show at these C10 and I'll probably even say F100. You go to a lot of F100 type events, but the classic truck community in general, you just don't have those types of issues. Right. You don't have, like, I remember being and I'm just not even going to say it,
okay.
But it is, you just don't have those types of issues when it comes to people trying to do burnouts or just do things that are just entirely unsafe when you got a bunch of kids and young people running around because
And really
that's
nice,
what we want.
And really nice trucks.
Well, yeah, and not to mention some of
You know,
these
like-
trucks are crazy.
Yeah, you spitting
nice.
rocks around like.
But I don't even care. I don't want my patina truck getting getting a window knocked out.
Yeah.
But we had some when we first wanted to do the show. We had some difficulty finding a spot because people were seeing the stuff that was on the news about guys
Takeover.
takeover stuff and
right.
doing donut stuff. That's the only thing everybody was thinking about, and they're like, nah, we don't want that kind of thing here. And I'm like,
well, that's why I started pitching it as a vintage.
That's right.
So
That's right.
we changed
People
how we approached
respond.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I mean, I don't know if it helped, but I guess
I think it did.
I think it did.
Well, and what I was going to say, and I don't have to name the show, and that's what I was going to do, and I'm glad I didn't. But Rick, you were there.
Yep.
When this person pulled up right in front of our booths at the main entrance of this show and just starts trying to do a burnout with some big old 44s and a new truck, a big diesel powered truck that could definitely turn them over. And there were people everywhere. Within touching distance of the tire that's literally right next to him. And this person ended up, being inebriated, and the cops had to come up and knock the wind out to get him out of it. They smashed the wind out and jerked him out of the truck.
You were there.
Yeah, it was wild. And I just stopped in that moment. I was like, man, we are not all the same.
No.
Like, we're not all here for the same reason, in some respects. But when I've noticed when it comes to more of the classic truck community, the classic truck shows that are really tailored more towards that, C10 shows, F100 shows, you really just don't seem to run into those problems.
Right.
Well, and if you do, if someone's being an idiot, everyone else
somebody
is going to
gonna
stop
handle
them.
it real quick.
Yeah.
Right.
There was that, last year Fall Revival, somebody did did that big burnout, and then they got pictures of them, and
Can't
someone
come back.
yelled and found out who it was, and hey, you just don't come back.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Right.
Yeah. I think that's probably the way to handle it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Or not unfortunately. I mean, it's unfortunate that we even have to do that. You would even have to do that kind of thing.
I think Matt and Kyle had a small incident where they shut a guy who's trying to do a burnout right in front of our booth at
C10's After Dark.
After Dark.
And they Matt and him both jumped on him instantly and shut it down pretty quickly.
And look, we're not like anti-motorsports or
I love a
anti-burnouts
burnout.
or anti any of that. It's just like that.
I'll do plenty of burnouts.
Yeah, that place is just not.
be
Those
set up.
types of shows are just
Crowds are not
not
the
the
right
place
way
to do that.
No,
Gotta be set up.
And if you need to do it in front of a crowd, go to a drag strip, go to an autocross setting, go to somewhere where it's really tailored for that.
cough up the money for it too.
Yeah, and cough up the money
Right.
for it. But I don't know. I feel that C10s in the City just has this cool, relaxed, fun vibe where everybody's welcome. All sorts of trucks are welcome. I mean, it's not even just C10s. We've got the first gen S10s, vans. There's all sorts.
G-van.
I want more vans.
I know.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
get
cool.
more vans.
I want more vans.
Let's get so
Put
many
it out there right
vans.
now.
You have to call it vans in the city.
Negative.
We even put a van on the shirt.
I know. That's so cool. I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
What else you got over there, honey?
Let's see. I think we've kind of talked about this, but are there plans to move the show? I guess if it got
This is one I came up
because of the
with.
growth. Yeah.
So I know that the show continues to grow.
Yeah.
And I'm not asking you to talk about things you're not ready to talk about or that aren't fully fleshed, but I want people to kind of understand that this has continued to grow. It has moved sites a couple of times. Do you think you'll be able to keep it in the same location, like in the same general vicinity, or do you think that it may have to move elsewhere? Kind of what are your thoughts on some of all that?
I think we'd probably have to eventually take over 2 lots, the
Yep.
spectator lot, and
That's a great
figure
plan.
that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we've talked about.
I really wanted to do it in Pullman Yard,
Yes.
but they
God,
want
that place is
freaking
insane.
$40,000
just
for
too
it.
They want-
But it would never get rained out.
Yeah, because you're indoors.
That'd be cool.
You're indoors and outdoors.
It's so
Pullman
cool.
Yards is like these old industrial buildings.
Pictures would be so cool.
Oh man,
It did something with trains there.
Yeah.
So
it
it's
is
giant rooms, and they're all graffitied up.
and
it's
huge
super
doors
cool.
and rusty on the outside.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's an incredible.
It's become a different place though since we've talked about that.
They might be
It's-
too fancy for
It's
us.
a little
Oh,
fancy.
yeah.
They got like a cocktail bar in there now.
You can tell it was headed that
pickleball,
way.
and I'm just like, I don't know, man.
Well, but I do
churched it
think
up.
it's cool to know that you're already thinking about this and you've got a couple of options, or at least one good option is we'll just try to have both lots.
Rick has an idea also that we're exploring.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't have to talk about it if you don't
no,
want
it's
to.
okay. I the downtown Decatur area to me is really, really cool, and
Yeah.
we've seen them close the streets down before for events.
Yes.
I've talked to some people. I know some people in the area there that could maybe help us with some of that if we wanted to do that. I just don't know. The one problem I'd have with like the downtown Decatur, like the food down there is amazing, right?
Yeah,
It's super cool, and you'd be parked right in the middle of downtown. Take over the streets, close the streets. I've always thought that would be cool to do.
I think it would be cool, and it really lends itself to vintage.
Yeah,
I mean, it really does.
Yeah, it's an old city.
Yeah,
it's got an old square.
Yeah,
and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I just don't know space wise if we could make it work.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. have any idea?
We haven't talked to anybody about it.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's just something that I've always kind of thought would be kind of neat.
Yeah, I think so. I would love it.
There's great hotels right there.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we tell people to stay anyway. That's where we have the pre-party. Like you would just not have to go.
Yeah.
Whatever the 3 miles into the city.
Well, let's talk about the pre-party a little bit. Those seem to be things that, and I
that's growing
regrettably did not make it this year.
Yeah.
But I tried to because when I went in 23, I had a blast, and it was at what's the name of the brewery again?
Three Taverns.
Taverns. I kept trying to say Three Bears or something in my head.
Yeah, their beer's kind of everywhere in Atlanta now.
I mean,
well, Rapturous is like the beer for Atlanta United, right?
Yeah. Right.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know if it still is, but it was at one point.
So that's on Friday night. You can, for those who are coming into town, and I talked to a ton of people. I filmed with 2 different people that day who drove. One drove 8 hours and one drove 3 hours to come to the show, and they made sure they got here early enough in the day just so they could go to the pre-party, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's a cool little spot. There's a good parking lot there, so it helps.
Plenty of parking. In fact, we were gonna talk to them about having that venue as the first C10s in the city.
Yeah,
but that's when
they were all
this takeover stuff was happening,
and Three Taverns was all in.
Oh, they were.
There was a bar, a restaurant on the front corner, and he was in.
Yeah.
But the owners or the I think it was the management company was like, nah, what about the salon's parking? I'm like, it's on the other side of the building.
She also owns a classic truck.
Yeah, and it's like 3 parking spots. Like, like we can fix that.
We can accommodate, right.
Anyways, that's where we wanted to do the original one. And then we ended up with Argosy, what's his name? Armando. Super cool dude, man.
That was fun too because you could walk downtown, or down in East
Atlanta is freaking cool.
Yeah,
really artsy, hippie,
punk rocky.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, because that's where the Earl is, right?
Yes.
Earl. Great venue. Yeah. Getting some gritty rock down in there. I really like. I like the location it's in.
I do too.
I think it's turned out to be, especially after this year, I think people are really starting to understand, like, this is associated with the arches, with the rings. It's associated with proximity to Turner Field, now Summer Hill. When I walked in Wood Chapel Barbecue, and when I walked in Wood Chapel Barbecue, it's like everybody at that show knew that was a great restaurant. Yeah. There were truck shirts and truck guys in every single seat in that place.
Yes.
And they were handling it perfectly. There was no crazy lines. Like everybody seemed to be handling themselves. And it was just, I was like, man, because the first, I guess, has it been 2? This was the 3rd year it was in this location.
Second.
Yeah.
Second, this spot was across the street.
But in Summer Hill.
Oh, yeah.
In Summer Hill.
4th year in Summer Hill.
You'd go in and you could tell that it was like when you would go in the restaurants, you would see it would be a mix of like some of us truck guys who ventured out to go get some food and then just the local people who live around there.
Yeah.
And it was just really cool to see this time. It's like all these folks figured out like we can come down here and we can get some killer barbecue.
Yeah.
Like or any of the other, I'm sure the other restaurants were that way too.
Atlanta's always had that perception of people think about it when they were there 30 years ago, and it's not the same thing.
No,
it's just not the same.
Yeah, you might have to deal with a little traffic getting in and out or something like that. I mean, traffic's just traffic. There's a lot of people.
By the way, the people in the suburbs are the people that are driving the traffic. That is your fault, Robbie.
Oh, here we go to OTP, ITP conversation here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm outside the perimeter, but I like to go inside. I like to go inside. Well, and you're asking people to come inside to see trucks.
Please
They're going to do it.
Come on.
Come on and do it.
I mean, it proved it. So
yeah, it's so cool. Do we have any other questions that might help us? Is there anything y'all want to talk about that y'all thought about when you were maybe driving down?
I mean, honestly, just want to thank all the sponsors that help us with that, especially like AMD. Like
Yeah.
all the work that I don't think we touched enough on what AMD does for the show.
Well, lay it out there, man.
You know, everything that Jason particularly does and his team, Eddie and Amanda, and it's great. Like all the help with the marketing is unreal.
Yeah.
You know, and they put a flyer in every package that goes out. I mean, it's amazing to me. You know,
I think it's a partnership, and we like to approach that. If we're in, we're in. You know, if we can help grow the show and what it's about and what it's for the truck community, why not?
Yeah. Well, and it's in your backyard too. Well, I mean, you guys are a Georgia company.
We're a little selfish.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, you know, we all live around here. We're all friends. We all associate. We all, you know, text or communicate with each other, have dinner, have a drink, whatever. So it's cool that like you have such a player in the classic car industry as a whole in our backyard, and we know you guys, and you're so helpful on this event that is so important to a lot of us, especially Rick and Sarah. I think that is, I mean, it's just awesome for one thing. I mean, it just seems so organic and natural. It's not like this is not this forced thing. It's like it makes perfect sense that AMD would be the biggest part of this show from an industry perspective. You know.
You know, if you know, the beginning of the year we heard about, you know, there's 3 shows going on the same day.
Yes.
You know, like, all right, I guess that's going to be a thing, but it didn't seem to matter. No. You know, and I think that's great. I think it's pretty rad, man. You know,
it's so rad. Yeah.
Like, you know, I was worried about it for a minute.
Well, and we moved our show for Battle in Bama. We announced it on the same day.
We've moved it a couple times for Battle in Bama, to be honest.
We try to be respectful. We moved it, but we were not going to move it for what else is going on
to continue
there.
moving it.
I mean,
it's just there's no point.
No.
You know, we're not competing with Battle in Bama. It's a different kind of thing. But you know, we'd like to go to those shows too. Yeah. So there's that. You know.
Yeah, and I think you know, it was in June last year. It was hot.
Yeah.
You know, it was hot in Atlanta, and y'all moving it to early May was just real nice.
Yeah, I think
so. It was.
I think I don't want to move it anymore, man.
No, you should.
You know, like most of these shows have, you know, the bigger shows, they have their kind of weekend set, and I'd like for us to have that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, like we've been trying to get there. It's been a little difficult with other stuff that's happened. That's not outside of our control.
Yeah,
you know, like
totally.
some of these shows that have moved around. So,
that weekend,
I just feel like I'm done moving it.
Yeah, that
weekend
weekend is my anniversary weekend, so why not come to Seasons in the City? Sarah loves it.
Sorry, Sarah.
You know what I mean? Happy anniversary, honey. Sling that T-shirt. Oh, yeah, it's been a fun journey to kind of see it all unfold. I mean, I've got one foot in helping it happen, and then one foot of just being there to participate. You know, and just being a part of it.
I think, being associated with United by Trucks definitely helped.
Oh, that wasn't a fishing comment. I didn't mean
that. No, but it is.
It's just a unique, like, I mean, you guys are my friends. You know, like I want everything you do to be successful. Right, yeah. And it just feels like, I don't know, it's almost like it hit another gear last year, but this year it's like we're in a whole different rig. This is a different
I would have liked to see what would happen if we didn't have the weather.
Me too.
The weather.
That would have been huge.
Yeah.
And I know some people didn't come because of that. I mean, I feel like they missed out. But.
Call him out.
Yeah. He already called out Ron. We got to just let Ron get the slap on the head.
Ron.
I know.
Ron's my boy.
Yeah, I'm glad he did show up though. Yeah. That was fun.
Oh yeah. He made all those cups for us too, which was super cool for the.
Yes.
The door prizes.
The door prize stuff.
Yeah, and that's another thing is like you got, like you said, the family garage, Joe Palmer and Maggie doing the Bedwood kit, but you got other folks who are just doing like, I'm not gonna call them homemade because I mean, those cups are really quality stuff. Yeah. But it's just like they're taking their time, and like you can tell that people are starting to take their own pride and ownership in this show and this event and being a part of it. And that, I mean, that's just cool.
Yeah, one of the lessons we learned was like we need, you know, how we do the system with the boxes.
Yeah.
You know, so like you can, so if you
shake it more.
I like it. I like though that you can, like, you don't just win something random. You get to try to win what you want.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that's cool. You know, like I feel like you'll buy more tickets to do something like that than get a random thing, which always all the stuff's cool.
Yeah.
But like you really want that skateboard.
Yeah. The skateboard deck.
Right.
Yeah. That's custom made.
That one that Best Damn Garage had.
Yeah.
That thing was cool.
Yeah. Tim Wallace.
Yeah.
Good dude.
Tim's a good dude.
He's a great dude.
But yeah, like that kind of thing. Where was I going? Oh yeah, so like we learned that we have to have extra boxes because people bring stuff that they want to put in the raffle.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And the first year we didn't have that. I'm like, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Like,
you mean they're not like even letting you know ahead of time? They're just showing up with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Raffle.
That's an
cool.
unexpected thing that I didn't, that I didn't think about either.
Right. Right.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
So neat.
Did you see that saw? There was a saw there that had like hand painted stuff on it.
Like a hand saw?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
It was pretty neat.
Stay gold.
Stay gold.
I mean, if you ain't staying gold, what are you doing?
I mean, what are you even doing?
What are you even doing with your life?
Yeah.
I love people will mention this thing all the time when they come in here. I love it.
Doesn't Run Jewels have a song called Stay Gold?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they
absolutely. That's one of the reasons I liked it.
Yeah.
This is a vintage helmet that somebody just pinstriped. I bought it at one of the local antique stores. One of the motorcycle, tattoo shop. I always get that wrong. Tattoo parlor had a little booth in there, and they had a bunch of cool like pinstripe stuff.
That's cool.
So I bought it. I mean, it says "Stay Gold" on it.
Yeah,
that's just so rad.
That's cool.
So we talked a lot about AMD, your involvement, and AMD as a whole's involvement in the show, making it happen. There's some other folks who are involved in making it happen. Who are some of those folks?
CK Truck Magazine's been there from day one. They've been really good to us. Chris and Scott are awesome to work with.
Yeah.
Scott's an unbelievable photographer.
Yeah, the stuff that Scott's coverage is great.
Yeah, we got their magazine right here on
That's right.
That's right.
I love this cover.
The new covers
Yeah.
are dope.
I mean, the monochromatic thing, come on. I texted him about this, and I was like, this is
I did too.
This is another level
Dude.
of good.
So we're an advertiser. We get these, and we put them out in the showroom for customers to come in. I had this on my desk. Eddie walked in and is like, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's
it
another
looks
level
really
of design.
Yeah, the new one. I saw the new one. It's like a green. Man, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving
I saw that in the
email
monochromatic
blast.
Is that the one with our show in it?
I don't know.
Or not yet.
I haven't told me which one.
Yeah, so see,
They've been good to us. Like last year, I think they had
18
pages of coverage from the show.
Yeah,
which is
that's awesome.
So cool, man.
Yeah.
Like,
imagine what it'll be this year. I mean, even if it's not 18 pages, just I don't know. There's something, I just keep saying it, but something about this year just felt monumental. Like it just felt different.
Good. Yeah.
It felt great.
I think the foot traffic was really good.
Yeah.
We try to, I try to design a little way. I want people to have to go through the vendors, know, to get to other truck. I don't know.
Yeah, the vendor midway was awesome. It was packed full of people, but there's still plenty of room to move around.
We had a couple of no shows that didn't let us know, and it kind of which I didn't care for that because that left a gap, and it was a trailer it was
it's a big spot.
Yeah, it's a big spot. So, but we're always looking for vendors, and sponsors and all that stuff. And I mean, Can Cut was really good to us this year. Andy's awesome.
Yeah,
good dude.
I'm glad to see him in the scene.
Yeah,
bouncing around, hanging out a little bit.
Are they a Georgia company?
Yeah,
they out of Georgia.
Yeah,
that's awesome. They're doing big things. I mean, you see them in the influencer space and on YouTube and all sorts of stuff.
Super nice guy, dude. I've only
That's
met
my
Andy.
favorite part. He's so nice.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's a great product.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I actually, Alex from Holly had put out on Facebook that he was looking for some new drill bits, and he got hooked up with them, and man, he had a lot of great things to say, which is cool.
Yeah.
And Andy has these like pink containers.
Yeah, they're not all pink, but he's got some that are pink.
Yeah.
Which was great for the show. So
he donated those for the raffle. Yeah.
Very cool.
Good dude.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I mean we got new creations there all the time. What else you want to mention, Sarah?
Let's talk about some of the like the media.
Oh yeah, we got the
vendors.
media stuff, man.
Ton of media coverage. Right?
Yeah.
That seems to keep growing, which I love.
I love
because
that too.
obviously it helps us. You know, the more people put out YouTube stuff and
you want to talk about we've got coverage from CK, and that is a huge part.
Yeah, having it in a magazine.
Yeah,
but also having it on YouTube.
Yes.
Is freaking huge.
Yes.
United by Trucks, Buddy Garage. I mean,
Josh's first time setting up at a show. That was pretty cool.
Well, he learned real quick. It's hard to vend and film.
Yeah.
and get around. It's so hard.
Yeah. But I mean, John Fools is always there.
Yeah.
Damn Fools.
Yeah.
John Walker, Damn
Love
Fools.
John.
He's cool. He goes to everything, man.
Yeah, he's so good.
He goes to everything, and then
I'm like, how do you even know about this show? I would have gone.
Yeah.
See it on
knows about everything.
Instagram later.
He gets around for sure.
Yeah.
And he's a like a bright light. He's had his own, health struggles and just all that sort of stuff, and it's just so optimistic every time I talk to him.
Always positive.
Just a bright light, man. I love that dude.
But a ton of YouTube people. I mean, the Family Garage.
Yeah, Simple C10.
Yeah, Simple C10.
Shout him out.
Yeah, I got his hat on.
Yeah.
What's by way of usually there?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he was there, Jason.
Come on.
Was he not there?
Where was our homie?
He
at?
had prior obligations
I
to
see.
Hot Wheels.
I see. Well, Hot Wheels is a pretty big obligation.
Yeah, but he could have had his there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love it. I love how you censored
Yeah.
yourself. Just then. That was good.
No need for a pause button.
Yeah, that's
got
right. I love it.
Yeah, I just want to point out it was Jason that called him out, not me.
But it is cool. Like I love looking around and even if it's not like an established media outlet or YouTube channel, folks are just walking around with their phones and GoPros and Osmo Pocket 3s.
Search for C10s in the City on YouTube, and there's a ton
There's a ton of stuff. Yeah. Our video's coming out later this week. Shout out.
Cool.
Sweet.
Nice.
I had a little help with some videography, and I've got a little help on the editing side now. So we're trying to get them out a lot faster. So it's either it should be out by the time this airs for sure.
Nice.
But it is so fun to see others who are just walking around.
AMD Garage.
Appreciating it.
Guys got
Yeah,
your
not
own.
to mention.
It did
Amanda
really
was
well.
out there, headphones,
Oh, yeah.
gimbal, like whole
She's serious.
setup.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's been really good.
I love that
That
she
was
always
fun.
says, "I love my job."
It's like her little hashtag.
Yes. Yeah, I think I think those are the types of things that end up making it feel like such an experience. Yeah. Like you're a part of lots of different things that are happening, whether it's a conversation between two truck guys who are parked on Kings of the Ring row kind of thing, and that's another thing we didn't touch on was Kings of the Ring.
Yeah.
There's so much.
Yeah. What hit what that is real quick.
It's just, honestly, it's just trucks I like.
Yeah,
like
fine.
Honestly, like it's just a thing. Like like we said, we don't do the trophy thing. I don't want to do it ever. We'll never will. But I like to have a section there that unique trucks like that C10 that had the Cummings in it was slammed on the ground.
Yeah.
Freaking
Insane.
cool.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Unique stuff. I like to do.
Yeah, and it's called Kings of the Ring.
Kings Under the Ring.
Kings Under the Rings. I don't know why I keep saying of. Kings Under the Rings. And you're literally parked along this little tree, nice little tree row under the rings.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like
Got the cauldron right there in the rings. It's pretty.
It's cool.
It's set up for good shots.
Yeah.
But it's not like a trophy we're going to call like your parent and be so excited.
No,
It'd be
you're just like, I just got this little nod.
Calling up your mom and going, Rick really likes my truck. I got this sticker.
right.
But it's another one of those things like, I think I got one on Teddy, maybe one on Mud from last year.
Yeah.
But the design of it is very cool.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. It's something you would want to rep on your truck.
It's super Atlanta.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
It's kind of a version of Outcast stuff.
Yeah, it's got an urban feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, Casey.
Yeah.
Casey.
Killing the design.
I told Casey one, and he kills it every time.
Yeah. Well,
and New Jay made that super big metal sign out of it.
Yeah.
Last year.
did?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Man,
He makes some cool stuff.
That's the that's what I keep saying or keep like trying to get to. There's just people are starting to take pride and ownership in their own ways, like with the things that they are good at doing and making it very focused on this show. Right. I think that's when you begin to know that something has got like real staying power and roots.
You're right.
Built for the community and by the community.
That's right.
One of the things I think is
100%.
cool too is I think we had four vendors there this year that have never vended before.
Yeah.
That was their first time doing it.
Yeah.
And I feel good about that. I want to help because I've been there. We've all been there.
Man, 100%.
And it's scary at first, kind of can be, whatever. Depends on what you're doing, I guess.
All
But, like,
squared up. That was our first one, I think, in Dawsonville.
Oh, I remember that. Was that
no,
at
it wasn't.
the
No, it wasn't. The very first one we ever did was that SCTN. The
Are
year
you
we put the
serious?
wheels. That was the very first one.
the one that we were
when we had the
stayed
pipe,
in the hotel?
the
Yeah.
PVC pipe
Yeah.
sign,
Yeah.
I remember all
It was-
squared
was-
up though. That was at there was the
the
NHRA
Racing Hall of Fame.
Racing Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. That's Jimmy Lamb.
Lamb.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Shout
Lamb,
out
yeah.
Jimmy Lamb. Yeah.
Jimmy comes every time.
I
too.
know. I saw him. He came up and spoke to me. Yeah, that's awesome.
But I think it's cool to like to get some new vendors like
Mm-hmm.
up and coming.
and for them to have what we think was probably a good time. Like it was worth your time to come. You're gonna.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I mean, I did for our own brand. I mean, we had a great time. We sold a lot of T-shirts. Like there was a lot of exciting things happening. I mean, the stuff that was happening over at Vice Grip and the line that Derek had. I mean, that
Holy
was
smokes.
just mind blowing.
Man.
And the
People
way
were
he
coming
handled
in
it,
before the gates opened.
yeah,
He didn't even take a break.
and watching how he handled that was like very admirable. Like it was something, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about him, but you never know somebody at that level with just millions of followers and subscribers. how they handled themselves in that situation. And they had a system, they had a setup, it was awesome.
And it's all family.
Yeah,
his wife, his boys.
That's right.
It's
doing
really
the
cool.
thing.
That's cool.
Something to aspire to, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, Robbie knows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I don't not
Yeah.
at that level.
I'm just saying, you've got your family helping you
my
out all the
family
time.
Are who, I mean, this is what me and my wife do,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm super proud of that. We've been actually talking a lot about that, and it's so cool. But just being a part, like seeing all the people milling around, 2 truck guys talking to each other, vendor to customer, you know, even vendor to vendor when we were hanging out and talking with Jason, and just like you could just tell that exciting things were happening, and it was just an experience.
Yeah, safety meetings with the Loshes.
Safety meetings with the Loshes, you know. I'm a non-drinker.
That might have something to do with why you were throwing up. Like,
No.
Too many safety meetings.
I didn't have any that day. Honestly,
Never have enough
kidding.
safety.
Yeah, you never have enough
That's
safety.
true. It's true.
Man,
I did pop over there a few times this time. I was feeling good about the show. You know, you get nervous about things. You want everything to go well.
Yep.
well, in the rain. I mean,
well.
when I saw it was going to rain, I threw up. I do it every year. I just should not look at the weather.
Yeah, I
In
think
fact,
that's right.
I could have killed my dad because I was literally telling him that I'd never look at the weather because they're wrong all the time. 5 minutes later, he's like, "Oh, look, 60% on
Oh,
it."
I know.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
so
Dad!
2 years ago, it was supposed to rain the whole day, and it was perfect.
Perfect.
Sun was
weather.
shining. Oh yeah, 23.
You just can't. You can't rely on
can't.
it.
They don't know. Period.
And it really. I mean, I'll admit this, and y'all may not want me to, but at one moment I
11
thought,
o'clock.
we're about to pack this thing up and get out
That
of here.
crazy
That was 11
cloud.
o'clock.
It was not rain, but that cloud
It was-
looked
you could
like
see the
it.
front.
Surrounded the
Yeah,
whole.
it was like a double wall.
I mean, it looked like it had something in it that I didn't want any
folded.
of.
Right.
You know,
Jason's got a good picture of it, so
it was.
Yeah, from the drone.
It was
Yeah.
wild, but it's like the seas parted around us,
Yep.
and it
Nothing
never,
happens.
nothing,
Not a
happened.
drop.
A little bit of wind. That was it. No rain. It did drizzle a little bit later after that, but
Yeah,
not from that little
after
system.
2 o'clock though.
Not-
So
yeah.
like that point, I'm like, all right, like,
Yeah, it was all good.
Yeah.
But I did take note that both of you seemed less stressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine. I'd be so stressed if I were like trying to put all this on. But y'all both seemed like y'all were just in a better place with it, and it probably comes with time and experience. And you know,
I
all that
literally
stuff.
ran over 2 miles. If I wasn't in the golf cart, I was running.
Yeah.
I love it.
But
yeah.
Yeah,
It's fine. I got my steps in.
It's
or
weird the
whatever.
things that pop up that you need to handle, but
yeah.
you just things you never expect, but
Like
it
jerking
happens.
people off motorcycles, so they'll
Yeah,
stop
I mean,
doing
right.
burnouts. You never know.
For me, it's all logistical stuff. Like the guy that was taking care of the bathrooms kept calling me. He was extremely proactive.
Oh,
He's
like
like,
letting
I
you
didn't
know,
know.
so
like,
I had to pop
these
over
are getting
to-
full kind
Yeah.
of thing.
No, or mostly like paper towels, stuff like that. So I popped over to
soap
Publix and
or-
got some stuff, some soap,
Yeah.
and whatever, because we always
You did
want-
that during the show?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Another point
I did
of
it
like
too.
how you're just trying to make it go smoothly. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
just drove
he
the golf
goes,
cart over
Yeah.
he goes, "Do you have a broom?" I said, "No." So I walked over to Publix and got one. It was fine.
I love it. I love it.
And by walked, I mean ran.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
As fast as you could.
See some sprint and Sarah.
Well, I am. I'm ready to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all are like, let us have a little breath here, but
We'll do a pop up soon.
It was fun. Yeah. What, do you have any idea when that might happen? A pop up?
I'm not sure. We've actually had some places email us asking if we do one there at places like that's
Which
kind
is
of cool.
Yeah, that is super cool.
But I don't know, maybe next month or the month after. I mean, we only advertise it 3 weeks before, so
Yeah.
we can kind of do it whenever.
Yeah, I was very surprised though. I know we probably all need to go here, but I was very surprised at the last one.
The last one, I love they let us pull a truck in the
Yeah,
building.
what's the name of
Distillery.
that place?
Independent Distilling.
Independent Distillery.
Yeah.
So
They
it's
even-
in an
they even
old
make a-
garage.
Yeah.
Cinder block, which is my favorite old school garage. It's
Yeah.
cinder block painted white. I think it might even have a racing stripe on it or something.
It does. It's got a. I think it was like an Italian. Like there used to be some Italian cars out there, so it's got green and yellow.
It's just so,
I mean, green and red.
yeah, so cool. But they had the lot next door, or I don't know whose lot that was.
It
next
used to
door.
be an Ace Hardware that's
Yeah, they
demolished.
tore down Ace Hardware there. So like,
So there was a big old parking lot,
Yep.
and I just looked up,
was
and
full- it was
there
full.
were trucks spilling in there. We got somebody knocking on the door. That's my neighbor. Could you just ask him to hold on a minute? But
That's my phone ringing
I think
now.
that I think it's cool how this is all really just shaping up to
There we
be
go.
an event, a destination type event. Like people have come from all over the Southeast, I know, and even Ohio when I was referencing Nova Scotia.
Old car guy.
That's right. Jason. That's right. And they drove all the way down.
No, he's New Brunswick. New Brunswick.
But multiple, I mean, a dozen states or more, I'd say.
Yeah, and Elisha's come all the way from Arkansas.
That's true. Yeah, so it's just really, you can tell it's shaping up to be something bigger than all of us for sure. I think it's already gotten to that point.
Yeah, we're kind of like we're doing everything with volunteers, which is awesome.
Yep.
But it's getting to be a little more than that now.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? I think Jason and I talked about this a little bit on the phone a few days ago. I'm like, we got to figure another way to do some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we had one staff. I was not going to ask my friends to make sure the toilets were stocked, so we did have somebody for that. But I would love to have. You can't ask people to collect donations, right?
Yeah.
But like all our friends help with the gate. You know, it's collecting money. They'd help drive the golf carts. They help in the booth. You know,
we could probably have some staff.
Her mom's always in the booth, and Laura, Huckleberry's girlfriend. They're rock stars in there.
My mom is the queen of upselling.
She's
like, "Oh, this shirt looks great. Don't you think your brother would want it? He said your brother couldn't make it. He'll probably want a shirt."
I love that. Yeah. Maybe we should get your mom in the booth, Sarah. That'd be awesome.
My mom loves C10s in the city.
Yeah, she came over and spoke to me, and every time I saw her, big smile on her face, like
she has a great time.
You can tell she's having a good time.
Every time we talk about their mom, I wish my mom could have seen what what this is now. Like, she passed away before this, but it would have been pretty cool. She would have loved it.
Yeah, because you got to talk to her about this, right?
Yeah, like she knew what we were doing
do.
with the scene and stuff. But not that we were going to have our own show, So
that's so cool though. Well, I'm super proud of you guys. Like, you make it so easy to want to be a part of the show and 100%. Attach our brands and names. And I mean, we're friends. We were going to do this anyway, but now we're just like, I'm just proud. I'm proud of you guys for how you've done this, and it's just so cool. And I encourage anybody listening to this or watching this, you want to try to come to this show. Like, even if you only come once, but come check it out in 2026.
If you come once, you're going to come again.
Yeah,
I like.
You don't have to say that. We're just hooking them in. Just come once. If you come once, you'll come back. But come in 2026. Come hang out with all the fun-loving people who love classic trucks, and even just your normal guy who just drug a truck out of a field and drove it in there, to high-end builds.
There was a guy I talked to on Facebook. He's like some of my doors, like I have trouble with the doors. I'm like, I just don't know if I can bring the truck. I'm like, dude, this is the show for you. That
100%.
Don't worry about it. Like, kind of thing. Like, he's like, oh, they don't match. I'm like, who cares?
Who cares? This is not a show truck. This is an event for trucks.
Yeah, he made it sound like he didn't think his truck was worthy.
Yes.
It was that big that lifted Suburban. There was only that gray lifted Suburban. It was that guy. I think that was the guy. And I told him, like, no, dude, this is why we do what we do. We don't care about that stuff.
Yeah, this is not an exclusive
I just want everybody to come and have a good time.
Yeah,
right.
We have one group of guys that comes.
Yeah.
They come to freaking everything.
These guys are nuts.
Southern C10 Classic Riders is the name of the group.
They got a long name,
and
too.
They are like my little respite during the show. Like, if I'm getting really overwhelmed, I go hide out in their tent. They hand me a beer.
Yes.
Like,
were they down next to the storage? Storage Pro tent.
Exactly.
I thought I saw them down there.
They're so fun.
Yeah,
they keep
awesome.
me in stitches.
They do funny. Some stuff down south here. We go down to their stuff too. It's cool.
Yeah, that is awesome.
What is it?
You've been you met some of those guys at the brewery that time.
Yeah. When we were, what was the name of that brewery?
Round Trip.
God, it's amazing you can remember all this. But yes, I definitely met. I talked to them at the show.
Yeah.
I talk to them every time we go somewhere now. It's just like I'm making new friends. Like we're all making new relationships, new friends. With I think at its core, that's what C10s in the City has become. Mm-hmm. It's not your normal go to all these big truck shows and see a lot of the same folks. You're seeing a lot of different folks.
Yeah.
You're seeing trucks you've never seen before. At every level. Just the backyard dude or the high end build.
Right. Some of the stuff gets overlooked. Like some of the stuff she does, like you get this little packet. It's got a QR code on it. It tells you restaurants. You can see all the menus. You can see everything like that. I think that's so cool.
Yeah,
like
it is cool.
I don't think anyone else is doing that.
Yeah,
I gotta say, out of all the shows and all the stuff we go to, hands down the best show website.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All the information's there. You know where to find it. It's great.
Yes,
it's great.
Especially
it helps
lodging.
that I'm a web designer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Small
It's
Sites
great.
by Sarah.
Small Sites by Sarah.
I love it. Yeah, especially from a lodging and like restaurant type perspective. I mean, when people text me and ask me where to stay, I'm like, I'll just text them the link. I'm like, it's literally right here.
Yeah, because like there's VRBO on there and stuff, but like we make the map so that you don't stay in the bad parts. There's every city's got a part you don't want to stay in. Right. Yeah. So we make sure to
steer you in the right direction.
Right.
Yep.
Now, if you go off book,
it's on you. That's on you. Yeah. But well, I think this has been awesome. I kind of wanted to have the reason I'm even doing this podcast, just so we can have longer form conversations about this stuff. We put this stuff out on the channel, and others put it out on the channel in a very, snapshot. It's just a snapshot is really what you're seeing. But there's so much more that goes on with these shows and these events, and even in our own lives to help, kind of make all this stuff happen. So this has been fun. I really appreciate you guys coming up.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man. Yeah. This is fun. We'll do it again soon.
Yeah.
All right.
So, thank you guys.
I like me some off the rails.
Yeah. Off the rails, baby.